Here's how you do some basic formatting and data management in Google Sheets. The first thing I always do is when manipulating data that is shared, I do File, Make a Copy. So I have a copy of this spreadsheet data, and maybe I would name it spreadsheet data-MV. So I remember that it's mine, and I click OK. So that creates a new sheet that is now mine that I can manipulate. Any changes, any deletions, any additions that I add are for me and for me only unless I choose to share it with someone. So in this case, whenever I'm working with data, I always freeze my header rows. So if you click on the number 1 to highlight the entire row, I'll do View, Freeze, and 1 row. And that freezes it, so if I scroll, it continues to keep the header there. If there's data that I want to hide, so say I have columns A through Z, and there's a bunch of data I want to hide, I just select the columns that I want. So I'm using a Shift key so I can select more than one. I right-click, and I hide columns E through H, and so that hides them. So now it goes D to I. So that would be hiding the data I have there. If I want to re-show it, I'll click on these little arrows and it pops back up. So again, right-click and hide columns. You can do the same thing for rows. So if there's rows of data that I want to hide instead of delete, I will hide, and same thing, there's the arrows here. If I want to show it back again, I use the arrows. A lot of times we like to sort data from least to greatest or in alphabetical order. So if I wanted to do alphabetical order by fruit, I can either highlight the column, right-click on the column, and do Sort Sheet A to Z. So we'll do that, and it then gives it to me in alphabetical order. And you notice that it also changed Sort A to Z. It also changed and kept the values in column B with the correct one. If I want to do the same thing with number, I could do number, sort A to Z, so that would sort least to greatest, or I could do sort Z to A to go greatest to least. Some more advanced things with Google Sheets. If I want to filter data, so maybe I only want to see the data values that are greater than 5 for the number. So I highlight the column that I want to filter, and I go over here to the filter option and I click it, and now it turns column B to green, and I have this triangle drop down here. I click on it. I can again sort A to Z. I can filter by condition if I want. So I could say that it has to be greater than 5 in order to show me a value, or I could just get rid of specific values by unchecking them. So if I want it to be greater than 5 and not include the 6, then I would do that. Click OK, and it gets rid of any data values that are greater or less than 5. So it only keeps the greater than 5s. I can click on that. I can go back and click none, and it will show me all of my data again. If I click on filter for column A, I can filter by value. So say I only want to show plum, or I want to get rid of plum, I can show just plum. Oops. I can get rid of everything except for plum. I can just see my plum data. I can select all to put it back. Flip up. Or I can filter by condition, so if text contains or text does not contain. If it's a date, we can filter by date also. That just makes it easy to manage data using Google Sheets.